out? Do they digest the sand? Does it go all the way through the digestive tract? How does that work?
Yeah, so they probably try to spit out some of the sand. Some may come out their gills.
Okay.
And then the rest, they just poop out.
Oh, they poop it out. How
Yeah.
interesting is that?
It's a good digestive cleaner.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so we know that they get here. We know they're born offshore. We know what they're eating. How long do they stay here? Do we know that?
We do. And because we tag them, we have the ability to monitor their behavior. So, and we'll get into the tagging in a minute.
Okay.
But that tagging has enabled us to look at how they use these habitats and then where do they migrate. So we can talk a little bit more about all the different tools we use to kind of monitor their behavior. And right now, I believe our drone is up looking for sharks. And as soon as they see one, Delaney's going to call Amanda and James is going to charge us over there towards it.
All right. So do we want to see some drone footage in the meantime?
So let's talk about technology,
Okay,
right?
okay.
So the drones are the tool that we use to spot the sharks. So right now, Kylie, do we have a drone feed?
Hey guys, we actually don't have the drone feed right now.
Okay.
We will hopefully have it up in a second, but it is not up at the moment. So let's just keep talking about sharks.
Okay, great. So drones have been a really great tool for us. They enable us to get up around 180 feet. We can fly along the beaches looking for the sharks, and we can see them when they're close to the surface. So that enables us to study their behavior and look at how they interact around sharks and people and other animals. But it also is a tool for us to find the sharks so that we can tag them. So what we'll do is we'll put the drone up. The drone will look around the beach. When the drone sees one, we'll see the drone drop down, and that tells James, Dr. Anderson, where to go. Once we get close, we can see the shark. Once we get close enough that we can see, then Amanda's going to dip a camera underneath so that we can sneak a peek underneath the shark.
Okay, so the drone is kind of like the paparazzi for the sharks, but it's not doing the tagging.
No.
So then Amanda is the second paparazzi with her little peeking cam, and she's going to be like, "Hey, what are you doing? Do you have a tag?" What else can the dip cam tell us?
So the dip cam helps us tell whether it's a male or a female.
Okay, so we don't care about that when we're tagging. We just want to know for science sake. Right?
Absolutely,
So,
because boys may do different things from girls.
Right. Okay. All right. So now we have the dip cam in there. We're like, okay, it hasn't been tagged, and it's a male. Great. Yep. So then what do we do?
Okay. So once we identify whether it's male versus female, and the way we do that is based on claspers. So the pelvic fins are located towards the back on the bottom part of the shark, and males and females both have pelvic fins, but males have structures coming off them called claspers. There's one on each side, and they use the claspers for mating. So that's how they mate with a female. So that's how we can tell a male from a female. And they start developing claspers even as an embryo.
Wow.
So they're born with the ability to say, that's a male, that's a female. So that's our ability to quickly tell if it's a boy or a girl.
Okay.
And then we can look for scars and things like that, or does it have a transmitter to help us also identify the shark, whether we tag it.
Okay. Kylie, do you want to show the video footage of dip cam showing a female shark?
Yes, so just so everyone knows, to those viewers watching at home, this is going to be a female shark. You won't see the claspers here. You will see them, you will just see their little pelvic fins. All right, back to you, Chris and Gwen.
Okay, so now we've done the dip cam and we're looking at it, and let's just say it hasn't been tagged yet.
Okay.
So then what do we do? How do we put a tag in it? What does the tag look like?
So the next step is using this other form of technology. This is an acoustic transmitter, and this produces an ultrasonic ping that the shark can't hear. And we dart this into the shark's back so it gets harpooned into it. Think of it like an earring, right? So when you get your ears pierced, there's a little pressure, and then that goes in, and then this hangs off the shark. So this transmitter has a 5-year battery life. Each transmitter has a unique ID code. And when one of our tagged sharks gets within 300 yards of one of our underwater acoustic receivers, the acoustic receiver will log the time, the date, and the ID of that shark as it passes by. So we have 100 of those receivers all along the coast, about 200 yards off the beach. And remember, this can be detected 300 yards away.
Wow.
So we can even tell if a shark is in very close to the shoreline. So they're constantly listening for our tagged sharks. So that's how we figured out that sharks may use a nursery for up to 8 months,
Wow.
day in and day out.
Okay, so why did you choose to put the underwater acoustic receivers here, and how many do we have here?
Right. So at this beach, because it's a known aggregation site, we've had anywhere from 8 receivers constantly out listening, up to 30.
Wow.
And those 30 receivers, if put in a grid, if a transmitter, when it pulses, is detected by 3 or more receivers, we can actually get a position of where that shark is in space. Whereas this only tells us it's somewhere within this 300-yard radius of the receiver. So we get more specific information. So now our goal is to get as many of these tags out as possible so we can monitor these sharks up to years.
Wow.
If we catch the shark, we can flip the shark upside down. And when you do that, you put the shark in what's called tonic immobility.
Wow.
It goes to sleep.
That's like being under anesthesia.
Just like that. We can make an incision in the body cavity, surgically implant that transmitter, stitch it back up. We can do that in 2 minutes, flip that shark back over, and it swims away.
Wow. Do they feel that?
They probably do, but when they're in anesthesia, you don't feel it, right? So when we flip them over, they wake up and they just swim away.
Okay.
So those transmitters that we put in those sharks last 10 years.
Wow. And then do you ever get them back?
We don't. They stay in there forever.
Okay.
The ones that we put in the outside eventually work their way out and fall.
Okay. So, what about infection? Like, I know if I have surgery, I have to be on antibiotics. I have to make sure the wound is clean. I can't take a shower for a certain amount of time. Get kind of stinky. So what happens with these sharks when you do that?
So sharks have amazing immune systems. In fact, their body cavity actually has seawater in it occasionally. So it's not sterile, which is unusual. It's very few other animals have that ability, right? But they also have this really primitive but highly advanced immune system that enables them to heal better than a lot of other animals. They can tolerate other things like pathogens, bacteria, and viruses in the water, probably better than other vertebrates. We don't fully understand how they do that. So a lot of research is still needed, but we do know we see them with horrible scars sometimes, and they're able to survive that and heal from those.
So I think back in the day you were using satellite transmitters, weren't you? So do you still use those satellite transmitters?
We do. We use satellite transmitters to answer different questions.
Okay.
So those satellite transmitters enable us to look for their migrations. And they help us basically track animals that may travel thousands of miles. So for example, using satellite transmitters, we found that a newborn baby that we tag at a nursery site in the winter may migrate all the way down into the Sea of Cortez, the Gulf of California, and then turn around and migrate all the way back. That means in its first year of life, it could travel up to 3,000 miles.
Wow. So, but don't satellite transmitters need to come to the surface to transmit the data?
They do.
But sharks don't breathe air. So how does that work? How are they getting the data then?
So we have 2 types of satellite transmitters. One type are called spot tags that we bolt to their dorsal fin. It's latitude and longitude. The minute the fin goes underwater, it stops transmitting.
Okay.
The other type of transmitter is called a pop-off archiving satellite.
Wow.
And that gets started in this shark's back just like this.
Okay.
And it's logging temperature, light, and depth every 30 seconds. And at a pre-described time and date, that pops off, floats up to the surface, and then uploads all that data to a satellite, and then downloads it all to me at my office in Haiti. So based on that information, we can recreate the path that shark traveled. So the problem with those positions is not very accurate.
Okay.
This is accurate to within 300 miles.
Wow.
That is accurate to within 60 nautical miles. So that means the shark could be on the beach,
right,
or it could be on the other side of those mountains.
Right.
So by combining all this technology, we're able to piece all this together and look at how, not only how far they travel, but how small a space they use.
Okay. So I know for marine mammal research, a lot of times what they do is they use scar patterns and things like that, and just coloration patterns. Do they do that for white sharks at all?
We do.
To identify individuals?
We do. And we try to get as many pictures and video as possible. And we're now even using machine learning, AI, to help us track and identify individuals, because remember, they're going to get new scars.
Right, right.
Sometimes the old scars get covered by a new scar, and it changes what have been an ID pattern. Or a fin gets bitten off or cut off, so you lose identification. So by having all this footage and pictures and images, we can create these libraries to track individuals over time.
Okay. So if you see with the dip cam, you see a shark that has a tag on it, and we know that they last about 5 years, and you've been doing this for longer than 5 years. How would you know not to put another tag on it? Like maybe that tag doesn't work anymore. So what do you just take your chances?
No. So the sharks that we tag with these transmitters, we can see them on their backs. We can even see them from the drones. So we know that that's a tag shark. The sharks that have internal transmitters put in them, we put a what's called a spaghetti tag, something that looks like this, but it's bright yellow. That's also on their back.
Okay.
So we can see, that
Okay.
shark has an internal
Got it.
transmitter.
Got it. Very interesting. Okay. So, all right. So you have these tools. Tell me some of the things you're finding out about this after all this, these amazing tools and the research you're doing. What have you seen? Like, what's their patterns like? And, are they moving? Are they going north? Are they going south? Is it seasonal? What's going on with that?
So one of the things we know, and for example, right now as you look, we're very close to shore. We're literally 150 feet from the beach. And what we found from our tagging and tracking and drone footage is this is the sweet spot. This is where the sharks like to be. And the reason for that is there's lots of food underneath us. There's lots of rays and fish and things on the bottom that they love to eat. So our telemetry is telling us when we're not out here flying drones, especially at night when we can't see at night. The telemetry is telling us that they're here day and night, just swimming back and forth. However, our telemetry has also taught us, based on other environmental factors like water temperature, that water temperature changes a lot this year.
Right.
For example, during certain tide, one area of the beach will warm up and the other area of the beach cools down. And what we found is that these sharks have a favorite temperature.
Oh.
So the babies in particular like a water temperature around 68 degrees. That's your
I
favorite.
don't like that.
But they don't like it below 60 degrees.
Oh, interesting.
If it gets below 60 degrees, they're like, that's it, we're out.
Okay.
And
So what do they do then?
They go south.
Okay, they go south, follow the warm water.
Well, but
Maybe.
the water around there is always the same temperature. How far would you have to go before you go? I think it's going to be cool. So one of the things we think they have built in them is this instinct when they experience cold water to head south.
Okay.
How do they know that?
Yeah, how do they know
We
that?
don't know.
Okay.
So there's still a lot of questions we haven't answered yet. So, but we know when the water temperature gets below 60, that's the cue to migrate south.
Okay.
And they'll go sometimes all the way down to Baja, where the winter water temperatures are around 68 degrees. And when those water temperatures start to warm up, we think that's the cue to come back to Southern California.
Is it too warm for them?
Well, maybe that's a cue to move north. There's more food.
Okay, got it.
Or that's an area that they know and they were successful.
Okay. So they like it here because it's relatively shallow. They have a lot of food. What happens, like, I think I've heard you say that they can dive really deeply. So why would they do that if they don't really like the cold water? They know their prey is here. Why would they dive so deeply?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So white sharks in general are what we call endotherms. Endo meaning body temperature inside their body is warmer than the water.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Now,
I thought they were ectotherms.
no. So many other species of sharks are ectotherms, which means their body temperature is the same temperature as the water outside.
Like a lizard?
Like a lizard,
Right?
right? Okay, but white sharks have their red muscle, which is their swimming muscle, pulled more inside their body.
Okay.
And as long as that muscle's working, it's insulated from the cooler water around them. They can keep their body core warmer than the water.
Okay.
Okay, if you keep your muscle fibers warm, they twitch faster. And because they can do that, they can dive deeper. Now, the way that works is the bigger you get, the longer you can hold the heat,
Okay.
even against cold water. So we know, based on satellite tags, that adults can dive down as deep as 1,200 meters,
Wow.
where the water temperature is just above freezing.
But why would they do that?
Probably looking for food.
But how would they even know it's down there that deep if that's not really where they're hanging out usually?
Well, if you don't look, you won't know.
I guess that's true. Okay, so all right. So how do they keep in the body temperature, like you were saying, deep in the core? You said they have to keep it warm, but how do they do that?
They have to constantly swim. So those muscles are constantly twitching. And the really cool part about this is they move cold blood against warm blood against these blood vessels called arete morale.
Wow.
And by doing that, they're exchanging heat through those blood vessels. So they keep their core warm. So if I brought an adult white shark next to the boat and I asked you to put your hand on it, it would feel as cool as the water. But if we stuck a thermometer into its body, the deeper the thermometer got, you'd watch the mercury rise.
Okay. So, all right. So 2 questions then. There are sharks that don't always swim. So what does that mean for them? They don't have a warm body core?
Yes. So almost all those sharks that rest are ectotherms.
Okay.
So their body's the same temperature as the water. But that's a different thing. In their case, they have the ability to pump water across their gills. So even while they're resting, they can still breathe.
Okay.
But some of these sharks, like white sharks and their cousins, the mako sharks and salmon sharks, which are all endotherms, they must continuously swim in order to breathe.
Wow. And to keep warm.
And to keep warm.
Okay, so that leads me to, do sharks sleep?
Ah.
Because if they're always swimming, how are they sleeping?
So that's a great question. And the way we've started to answer that question is by using another form of technology we call smart tags. So one of my graduate students, Connor White, built this tag, which is basically a Fitbit for a white shark. So it's a little backpack that clamps on the dorsal fin. It's got a 3D accelerometer, 3D magnetometer, 3D gyroscope that measures every motion the shark makes 30 times a second. It's got a temperature and depth sensor on it. It's got a transmitter so we can follow it from a boat, and it's got a video camera on it so we can see what the shark sees.
Wow.
So we clamp this on the shark's dorsal fin, and we can track that shark for 24 hours. After 24 hours, it pops off the shark, floats up the surface. We can get it back and download it and get all that data. What we found from some of the sharks that we tracked is they'll do this cool thing where they'll swim in a circle for 20 minutes, a really tight, perfect circle, 30-foot diameter circle. And then after 20 minutes, reverse, go the opposite direction.
Wow.
20 minutes later, they go the opposite direction.
Wow.
They do that for 4 hours.
So, do all sharks do that?
No. So we don't know what some of the other species do because we haven't used smart tags.
Right, we haven't measured it, right.
But the question is, how do we know that might be sleeping?
Right.
So when we look in the literature, we found researchers have worked on migratory birds that are much easier to work on than white sharks. And they put these little EEG hats on their heads that measure their brain waves. And what they found is, while these birds are continuing, they will fly in a circle in one direction and then reverse and fly in a circle in the opposite direction. And what they notice while they do that is half their brain is active. Then they turn off the other half of their brain and they fly in a circle in the opposite direction.
They've seen that in dolphins as well.
Exactly.
Right. So that helps rest half of their brain at a time, so they can actually sleep, but only half a brain at a time is sleeping.
Exactly. Now we haven't made a little EEG hat white sharks yet. That's our next goal. But until we do that, our assumption is that behavior is very analogous to what we see in dolphins, whales, and migratory birds. So this may be an example of how a species like white sharks, which must continuously swim in order to breathe and stay warm, actually sleep.
But why would they do a circle?
So we think one of the reasons why the babies might do that is to know where they're at.
Okay.
Because the adults, what we see, the adults or the big juveniles, swimming in a very straight line, very, very slowly. And we think they might actually be better at knowing where they're at while they're sleeping, and they don't need to swim.
So the circle would be like, okay, you slept for an hour and you don't want to wake up 50 miles from where you started.
Exactly. So if you're not being careful and paying attention, you might get lost.
Right.
And the babies are learning how to do all this, and it may be a strategy for them staying where they need to stay.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. So tell me a little bit more about them feeding and what their teeth are like.
Yeah, so we do know some things about their diet, right? And they're feeding on things like stingrays. They're feeding on things that live on the bottom that are easy to catch, not super fast, and tend to have soft skin. So when you look at a shark's teeth, the cool thing about sharks is they never run out of teeth. The reason for that is their entire skeleton is made out of cartilage. This stuff, right? The flexible stuff in your ears, the tip of your nose. And that gives sharks great flexibility, but it also lacks rigidity.
Okay.
So every time they bite into something hard, their teeth fall.
Wow.
Now our teeth don't fall out when we bite into something hard because they're socketed into bone.
Right.
So what that means, every time sharks bite into something hard, their teeth fall out, they run out of teeth.
Right.
So they're constantly making new teeth.
Okay.
So behind the gum line, there's new teeth, and every 30 days, a new row of teeth comes into place, and an old row falls out.
Wow.
So the cool thing about that is teeth can get bigger as they get bigger. They can change their shape and their organization so they can feed on different types of food. And my favorite thing is they never have to go to the dentist. They never have to brush their teeth. They never have to floss because they always have new teeth.
So are they doing this? Are they making teeth their entire lives?
They're constantly making teeth.
Their whole life.
Their whole
They
life.
never run out of teeth.
So, for example, a white shark will have 50 teeth in their entire front row. They can live to be 70 years old. From the time they're born to the time they're 70, they have produced over 30,000 teeth.
Wow. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So if you're walking around a beach where there's a white shark nursery, there's a chance you find white shark teeth
That's
just
fun.
lying on the sand.
Okay, so I think you said before that they change their diet as they age. So before we talk about that, well, we know that they go, when they're adults, they might eat marine mammals. So does their tooth shape change because their diet is changing?
Yes, and for some species, that's pretty common. So,
Okay.
for example, baby white sharks, their lower teeth are very pointy,
Okay.
almost like their cousins, the makos.
Okay.
But as they get older and bigger, their tooth morphology changes, and their bottom teeth become more triangular, like the upper teeth. And that's about the age where we see them feeding on marine mammals.
Okay, so why would that be?
Because marine mammals, instead of fish that have small scales and soft skin, it's easy to tear. Marine mammals have leathery hides, and it's harder to tear.
Okay.
So by having a serrated edge like a steak knife, it's easier to cut through that hide.
Okay.
So we think around that age is when their teeth become bigger, more serrated, more triangular, and it helps them cut through that tough, leathery hide of marine mammal skin. And that's about the age we see them trying to feed more marine mammals.
Now, do they chew their food?
Not chew.
Okay.
They bite, tear,
Okay.
and swallow.
How do they tear?
So the cool thing about shark jaws is that they detach from the skull. So, for example, they can project their entire jaw forward.
Wow.
So because their noses are long,
Yeah.
they can project their jaws forward, grab hold something, and their jaws have a joint in the middle that allows the jaw to flex. And remember, it's made of cartilage.
Right.
A lot of muscles attaching to it, so very powerful. And as they shake, they're twisting and tearing at the same time. So they can excise like taking an ice cream scoop out of marine mammal.
Okay, so, all right. So let's just say they bite into a marine mammal.
Dolphins. Oh shoot, we got
Sorry,
it. Sharks.
not sharks, but yay, dolphins.
Well, at least we're seeing something. We're seeing something.
So let's just say they go for a sea lion, and they're pretty fast, and their jaws come out and they grab the sea lion.
Yep.
What's to stop if the sea lion's trying to get away? What's to stop the jaw from really them losing their jaws?
Pulling out their dentures?
Yeah.
Because they're huge muscles
Oh.
attaching them to the rest of the skeleton.
Okay.
So especially
So
the
there's
skull.
no chance of them ever losing their whole mouth.
It would be really hard.
Okay.
And again, the purpose of their sharp teeth
Yeah.
is 2 twists and a shake, and you just cut right through.
Got it. Okay. All right. So let's get to a very important topic.
Okay.
And that is, we're talking about their diet. We're talking about their movement. Let's put those two together. We know that climate change is happening. What is going to happen with their movements and their diet as the waters get warmer?
Yeah, so that's a great question, and it's not just a shark-related question.
Right.
It relates to everything in our oceans, right? So because these sharks are highly mobile, we know they're highly migratory, and they likely move when they experience cold water or conditions that they don't like. That may drive them somewhere else. So for example, let's say our oceans are getting progressively warmer. We should expect sharks to move north to find slightly cooler water or more comfortable conditions.
Because you told us the lower limit, which was
Right.
68, but what's the upper limit for them?
Yeah, so we found the upper limit for white sharks, especially babies, is around 84 degrees.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, they don't like water temperature. So remember, off
Yeah.
Florida
Yeah.
this past summer, water temperatures got to almost 97 degrees. That's human body temperature.
Wow.
That would be way too hot for them.
Okay.
So what that's going to do is push them north.
Okay.
Now, the next question is, if you get pushed north because you're looking for more comfortable conditions, well, there'd be food for you.
Right.
So what might happen is we get smaller prey items that may like those temperatures less. They get pushed further north. So the sharks may move north to follow their prey.
Okay.
Or they could be, we've just got word that we spotted a shark.
Woo-hoo!
Yay!
But they
All
could
right.
also move offshore to follow their prey too, right?
Yes.
More offshore.
Yeah, so they could go offshore. They could
Right. Right. Okay.
And
Got
it's
it.
possible that they may do.
Uh-huh.
But typically, the deeper you go, the less food there is.
Oh.
Most of the food is closer to the surface, closer to shore.
Okay, so in the 20 plus years you've been doing this, have you seen a change in pattern as the climate has changed?
Yes. So, for example, prior to 2015, the northernmost nursery we know of is here.
Wow.
After 2015, when the Bob and the El Ninos occurred, now we have a nursery off Santa Cruz in Monterey Bay.
Wow.
And the reason for that is Monterey, it is, but Monterey Bay is a warm spot.
Okay.
And it's been getting progressively warmer in the last 30 years. So that gives this nursery a refuge where these baby sharks can hang out there.
Interesting.
And when it gets too cold in the winter, they just migrate south.
So cool.
So we expect nurseries to do well.
To change location.
And go
North. Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you're already seeing the effects of climate change on these populations.
We're coming up. All right, here we go. We got a shark.
Can I get one
All right, so up ahead,
back here to get out of the way?
up ahead, we have the drone. And the drone's on a shark, so they're able to see it. What they're going to do is drop down, and that enables us to know that there's a shark there. So as you can see right now, just as I am, there's a lot of glare. So we can't see anything below the surface until we get really close. So we're using the drone to allow us to sneak up on the shark. And as we get close, we kind of hope that they're napping. Because if they're napping, we can do the dip cam underneath them and see if it's a male or a female. And then if we get that footage, then we can dart a transmitter in the shark's back. But sometimes we wake them up from their nap and they take, where they go deep. So if we're all very quiet. All right, here we go. Here we go.
You know when you see anything, Chris?
Are they still on it?
She's right on the way. She's right up here above us.
Okay. Oh, there it is. There's the fin. See it? See the fin? Just broke the surface. Dead ahead. James heading this way. Heading to the right. There it is. See it? See the tip? Oh, there it is. Look at that. Okay, that's a white shark fin. You can tell because it's very triangular, right? It's very close to the surface. This is what they do quite often when they're sleeping, they're resting. And see how slowly it's moving? So Dr. Harrison's going to maneuver us right alongside it, behind it. And then Amanda's going to dip the camera in and hopefully get us a peek so we can tell if it's a male or a female. Look at that ripple. I love that. How cool is that? All right, here we go. Here we go. We're creeping up. Keep coming, James. Nice and easy. Keep coming. Almost there. I got eyes. I got eyes. There it is, Amanda. It's going deep. It's going deep. Slow down, James. We're right over top of it. Right below us. Right below us. We're just on top of it. Okay. Underneath the boat. Let's give it a chance to pop up. That is not a baby. That is not a baby. That is a big juvenile. So
You can see it.
I would put that shark around 8 feet. Oh, it's gone. I'd put that shark around 8 feet. Maybe a little bit bigger. It starts to get girthy as they become bigger juveniles because they've been very successful at getting a lot of stingrays and other fish that live in these areas. And that's what keeps them in these nurseries. So a lot of times when we spook the sharks, they come up behind us. So they sneak around and they come behind us. So why do you think they do that? Well, if you're a predator,
Right here.
oh, it's right behind us. See, there it is. Coming alongside. It's moving there. It's
to the back of the boat.
trying to figure out what we are. There it is, right there.
So do you see it? Oh, I see.
Just hold your position, Amanda. There you go. Good. We're
We
gonna
don't
let
see
the
it
shark
anymore.
give us a good inspection.
Drone will be over top of it.
So it's trying to figure out what we are and do we pose a threat. So now it might go, okay, I don't know what that thing is, but it's not bothering me. It's not moving. So I'm going to go back to my morning swim.
Check out the other boat.
Now it's heading over to Captain Steve and Dan's boat. It's going to check them out. So it's trying, oh, there it is, right behind the boat. Look at that. Yep, see? So this is what good predators do. The safest place for them to investigate something is from behind something that could potentially hurt them. It Doesn't mean it's trying to stalk us. It just means it's trying to get an idea of what is behind them or what was in front of them, and then safely investigate. So a lot of times people misinterpret this behavior. They think, oh, the shark's stalking me. And it's not. It's like, I don't know what that thing is. Should I be scared of it?
So, Chris, do they seem to be bothered or afraid of the drones, the buzzing of the drones? Can they notice that? Do they ever swim away because of the drones?
So that's a really good question. So we don't know if they can hear the sound. They might feel vibration when the drone
Okay.
is low because it creates vibrations on the water. But they also have occasionally seen the shadow of the drone
Oh,
and will get
interesting.
spooked by it.
Okay.
Sometimes they get excited. They don't know what it is. Other times they get spooked and take off.
Okay.
So shadows aren't an issue today because there's not enough sun.
Right.
There it is right there. Yep. Keep coming up, James. Yep. I don't have eyes. I just got the dorsal fin. Come this way.
Yeah, I got you.
So it's so calm right now. You can see the weight of the dorsal fin. Keep coming up, James. Come up a little bit more. Come up a little bit more. There it is. There it is right there. Keep coming, James. Keep coming. There it is. See it? See it? It's turning around. It's coming up behind us. Ooh, that is big. That is not a baby. That is a subadult. That's probably 10 or 12 feet long. That is not a baby.
On this side.
Right there. Look at the fin. Oh, cool. It's going to come around. James, you're in neutral, right? We're going to do the do-si-do. Andy, did you check that footage?
Still coming around.
Here.
It's right here.
The side to the back.
Right there.
Here.
Right there.
Pretty good. Coming around the side.
Yep.
And then decided to head offshore a little.
Yep. All right, let's try again. It's heading back away. I can see the ripples from the dorsal fin.
Want me to do another dip cam?
Yep. So try again, James. Amanda, you were close. It was a little deep, but you're gonna have to be fast because it's spooky. Okay.
It's getting annoyed. It says, I just want to nap. Can you please leave me alone?
Trust me, this will only be a minute. It'll only be a minute.
Why must you look at my body parts all the time?
And we'll let you on your way.
I'm just trying to take a nap.
Okay, call it out when you see it. I do not have eyes.
This way. I don't have eyes either. I'm just getting the dorsal fin ripple. There's pretty bad. There it is. It's coming up, James. Keep coming. There it is right there. See it? Yep.
Right
Turning
there.
around. It's coming around. Keep coming around. All right, Amanda. I think you got it.
Okay, we got for the tag.
Yep. Hand me the tag. The pull spear. All right, it's coming around, James. Keep coming up. Ah, nope, too far away.
Did it make content?
Yeah. All right, let's try again. Still with it?
Keep still on it. Waiting for it to come back to the surface.
Okay.
They have dropped a bit deep because she's going high.
Okay. All right, there's the transmitter. There's the tagging pole. So the idea is to get this dart just beneath the skin.
Is there a technique?
Closer. Timing is everything. So the key is we need to get the shark close enough so that we can quickly pop this beneath the skin.
Chris, are you going for a certain spot on the shark, or are you just happy if you get it anywhere?
That's a great question.
Is there an optimal spot on the shark that you're,
Yeah, the optimal spot is right next to the dorsal fin, either on the right or left side, maybe down a couple inches. And that spot, as water moves across the body, creates the least amount of drag.
So what are the chances of you actually getting it in that as you're like chasing the shark down and getting,
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting pretty good at this. We've tagged a couple hundred.
Okay.
Sometimes they move right at the last minute, and you might get a little off the mark. But by and large, we're pretty good at getting within, probably 8 or 10 inches of the spot we want it to be. I rushed that one a little bit just because I wanted to try to get a tag out, but we'll give it another shot if it goes back up.
Does the tag ever bounce off and then fall to the bottom?
It does.
And they're expensive, so then what happens?
So usually when we miss and a tag goes awry, we have to dive and recover it.
Oh.
I see it.
This at the same time as
Coming towards us, man.
Chris. I might have to do the dip again.
Oh, this is a different shark. That's got a tag. See it? It's got a tag. Different shark.
Right.
On the right side. There you go. Right over there. See it? It's coming around.
Confirmed it's a different shark.
It's coming around. Different shark.
This one is that like a
Yeah.
one of the previous one.
Yeah, happened.
I think they're split up a little bit too high.
Copy that. Drone needs to return to rebattery.
Okay.
So unless that one fins again, we are oh, it's just hanging out back here. That little guy. Oh, that's the double tag guy.
That's a double tag?
Yes, it is.
Wow. Got more sharks. 3 sharks.
Let's see if I can spin it around and put it back on it. But it was just behind.
Okay, Gwen, so we've got a lot of shark action, but we can't have dead air. So
Yeah, right.
the interesting thing is, you've noticed we've seen a couple different size sharks here. Right.
Right.
A
What's
big
going
one.
on with that?
Well, that's an interesting question. This
Okay.
is new. We haven't seen that this much. So the question really comes down to, don't fall in. Don't fall
Like,
in.
come up, or are you going down?
Don't fall in. So the question really comes down to, these nurseries are changing.
Okay.
So again, this year we had warmer water than we normally get up here. It came late,
On the surface behind you.
And-
Sorry.
and we've got a shark, so we're going to turn around to face the shark. Always face the shark. Remember, if you're in the water, always keep your eyes on the shark. So we're going to turn around to face the shark.
All right.
Don't fall in.
I've lost it again. See if you see it.
Okay, so, but if the water's getting warmer, why would we see more adults or subadults here?
Well, that's
Why
an
is that?
interesting question. So we don't know whether that subadult is one that's hung out here as a baby
Okay.
and just is kind of returning because
Got
it
it.
knows that there was
Right.
food here,
Okay.
right?
Interesting.
Because it used this place before.
Okay.
So, and because we can't tag every shark,
Right.
we don't know whether that one,
Makes sense.
is one that we didn't tag,
Right.
but it's doing the same thing ones that we did tag.
Very interesting.
So these are the questions we don't answer. We can't answer because we can't tag every shark.
Got it.
But that may explain why there's a bigger subadult. And think of the subadults as teenagers, right? But what we did see one that was about 7 feet long, that already had a transmitter in it.
Okay.
And then the
Wait,
double
it had a transmitter attached or internal?
attached.
Oh,
You could see it
attached.
on the
Okay.
side of the
Got
body,
it. Got
right?
it. Okay.
So we know that's pinging and we have receivers around. And then the double tag shark, Dr. Anderson, was how big?
It's about 7.5 feet.
Okay, so that's 2, small juveniles and a subadult. And, those 7-footers probably have to be careful swimming around that subadult.
Really?
Yeah.
You think the subadult would?
Hey everyone, sometimes this happens. Like I said, we are in a remote location. We have just dropped our feed. Oh, they're back.
We're back.
Okay,
Hey guys,
well, I
we
have
lost you
question
for a second.
Okay.
So we talked about that adults, maybe subadults are starting to eat marine mammals, but we just saw 3 dolphins. So why are they, do you think they're going to attack them, or are we going to see any interaction? Or?
Great question. Oh, a shark right behind us. So there's sharks everywhere. This is great. I love it. Okay, so the question is about dolphins and sharks. We see the dolphins around the sharks all the time. In fact, from our drone footage, we've seen dolphins chase the smallest ones.
Really?
The bigger juveniles,
I love that.
yeah, I know you do. The bigger juveniles don't really care. Every once in a while, they may try to chase a dolphin,
Okay.
but they're never going to catch it.
Yeah. So they know that somehow?
Well, they try,
Okay.
and then they learn that's just not
Got it.
wasting their time on.
Okay.
Turn around again. go.
Hey guys, while we look for this shark that we seem to be on, can we get some questions from the audience
For a fin
in?
to pop up again.
Yes, absolutely.
Great.
We're running low on time, and I want to make sure that we
Yep.
get all these questions
Yes, they have great questions. They're very
Okay.
excited.
Chris, we've got one. What is the coolest thing that you've discovered while tagging sharks?
Wow. The coolest things that we've discovered, I would say, is how far they move, right? So we've learned that a baby can travel 3,000 miles in its first year. Some of these sharks, by the time they're 6 years old, actually start to act like the adults. And we've had a 6-year-old shark swim all the way to Hawaii and then come back. All right, we got a shark here close by. So that's a great question. Oh, there it is right there. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Beautiful.
All right, James, take us over that way. And I can keep answering questions because what would be better than to see sharks? All right, so another question, Kyla.
Okay, we have a question from Emma. Emma wants to know if sea animals have like vices, like things that they're not supposed to do, things that are bad for them, like say eating candy for breakfast, but they indulge in those things anyway.
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know if we really know the answer to that. I'm sure there are things that animals do that ends up being a mistake. That's the tag word. Go ahead, get a dip cam anyway. There it is. Can you see it? Shark is right there.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
keep coming up, James. Keep coming up. Keep coming up. So yes, it's possible that these sharks, especially little ones, have made a mistake. Maybe got too close to a big one. Oh, there it goes. Oh.
I like the camera.
Nope. So, and that could have ended in one of those young sharks actually getting eaten. So that would be a vice that doesn't be a vice for very long. Other than that, we do know that they eat stingrays, and stingrays do sting them, and they get stingray barbs in their mouth. That probably hurts, but if you 15 stingrays don't sting you and they taste delicious, you may keep eating them even though they hurt.
Hey, I've gotten, really bad stomach ache eating a lot of pancakes before, but I still eat pancakes.
It's true. That's true.
So do I.
What
Another
else?
question.
Yeah.
All right. We want to know, what does a shark skin feel like?
Oh, so shark skin, if you pet it one direction, is very smooth. If you pet it the other direction, it's really rough. And the reason for that is they have scales, and their scales are teeth. They're shaped like teeth. And they have the pointy pits towards the tail and the rounded ends. Oh, there it is. Again, right there.
Is that the same one?
So creep up on it, James. So that gives the skin this armor because the scales are actually teeth. Think of them as an extension of the jaw. It's the same shark. It's got the transmitter in it and its back. So actually where we darted that transmitter in, it probably lost
It's right
its right there, right there.
Right here.
Love it,
Right in
love
front
it.
of you. Slow down.
Keep coming up. Yeah, there you go. We're coming up right on it. Look at that. Guys, look at that.
Wow, that's
Double tag
so
sharks get
gorgeous.
2 transmitters.
Beautiful.
Wow, look at that baby.
So
Oh,
Chris, why does it
wow,
have
that's
two
a good
channels?
shot.
Wow. Isn't that awesome? Oh, Amanda's going to knock me in the water yet. Say again,
Why did
Kylie?
it have two transmitters?
That has
Tag?
2 transmitters. It's
Why?
double tag. Probably a mistake.
Okay.
Yeah, that
That's
happens.
what I was asking
sometimes.
before. Okay, great. Good to know.
Yep, that occasionally happens.
So glad to know that you make mistakes too.
Yep. And I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm not alone.
And I'm glad you're putting that on camera, everyone. Everyone.
We actually have a question that relates to that. If we can
Okay.
get a couple more questions in here. If
Sure.
there are
Fire
multiple
away.
sharks, how do you know which one to tag? It sounds like maybe someone didn't know which one to tag.
Yes. So a lot of times the external tags that we dart into their backs, we can see from the air, from the drone. And we can identify what shark it is based on the position of that tag because they're not always in the exact same spot. So if it's on the right side, the left side, depending on unique scars, we can say this is this individual. Shark that doesn't have, there it is right there, right in front of us. Right there. Look at that, right down there. Oh my God. This is my favorite. Look at that. That's probably a 3-year-old. So it's probably about 7.5 feet, maybe bucking 8 feet long. And it's only about 3 years old. How cool is that? Okay, so this shark has unique markings too. We can see markings, we can see nicks in its dorsal fin. And that's how we can identify this shark. So that, if it was clean, it didn't have any transmitters on its back, we would go, okay, that's a shark that we can put a new tag in. So even the ones we surgically implant have a spaghetti tag sticking out of their back that we can identify. So we'll know if it's tagged. That's a great question.
Cool. We've got so many really good questions. To those of you who are putting in questions, we're going to run out of time soon, but we will do our best to answer your questions afterwards. Let's get
Look
Nora's
at that.
question.
Oh my God.
Oh
Look at
my
that.
goodness.
This shark, it loves us. Double tag loves us.
All right, while double tag swims around, let's get Nora's question. I really like this one. How can students or community members get involved in the work that you guys in your lab are doing?
So the best thing to do is follow us on social media. So we're on Instagram. We have great videos on YouTube. We're on Facebook. We're on TikTok. So if you follow us there, you can see the latest things that we're doing. In addition, occasionally we do have volunteers, but you have to be over 16 to be a volunteer. And in the summer, sometimes if we have the availability and funding, we have an intern program for high school students.
Very cool. Okay, let's see. How many sharks do you guys tag per year? And on that note, how many sharks are there in California?
Okay, those are two great questions and they lead to each other. So some years we've only tagged 4 because we didn't have any money and we didn't know where to find them. And then in recent years, we've been tagging anywhere between 40 and about 80 sharks per year. So we have about 240 sharks carrying around transmitters that we actively detect. And remember, every 5 to 10 years, they die or fall out. So we estimate that we're tracking about 200 sharks right now. And let's say we're able to tag maybe 5 or 10% of the population. If we have 200 tagged, then that's 5% of the population. We do math, we could go, there's probably about 3,000 or 4,000 sharks that hang out in the Northeast Pacific. That's California, Mexico, all the way to Hawaii. So the white shark population was probably kind of depleted due to overfishing. They were protected in 1994 by the state of California. They were protected in federal waters by NOAA in 2005. And as a result, they were more sharks.
Awesome. This seems like a good time to stop, Chris. It seems like your audio is getting a little bit funny. We are unfortunately over our time for now. Oh, and there we go. We lost him. Perfect. Okay, everyone. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are over our time for now. There were so many good questions that were sent in the chat. What we are going to do is I'm going to get those questions to Dr. Lowe, and I'm going to make him answer all of them for you guys, and we will send them out as post-show content, so you will get all of your questions answered. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Just a reminder and a heads up, we do other productions throughout the year. We usually are down in San Ignacio, down in Baja, doing gray whales in the spring. Actually, this January, we will be doing a show on manatees in Florida if everything works out. So stay tuned, subscribe to our Eventbrite, follow the Shark Lab on all their social medias, follow the Ocean Lab on all their social medias, and we'll get to seeing a bunch of other really cool animals out in the wild. Thank you, guys.